Yeah, the caveat to this is
Your 5 minutes starts now.
Okay. The caveat to this is probably the most interesting bit of the presentation, the deciphering of the anagram. This is a journey I've been on for probably a couple of years, but more importantly, the last sort of 5 or 6 weeks as I've moved schools. You might have already worked this out, but I feel very strongly that it's about doing it with the students, not, anyone get it? Doing it to them. And that the more we can engage and involve the students in their learning, the more engagement we'll get and the better our lessons will be. So this was the problem that I first faced. Engagement was low, the ownership was low, and so that's where I was. And I thought, okay, I could try traditional things, but hey, maybe I'll just get them more involved. And so a couple of things came around at that time. I heard this quote about having to touch a heart before you can ask for a hand, and that getting people to buy into what you're doing is absolutely pivotal if you want them to follow you. And also some work that the guys at the University of, I think it's Carolina, have been doing on collaborative classrooms. And the two of these were very much a stimulus for me, and what Vic was talking about earlier on, that students are our sort of clients, our customers, and we should ask them and involve them in the process rings really strong with me. So this was the plan. I wanted to increase student voice, I wanted to increase student choice, and also work on more co-construction between me and them. So this was it, this was the baby steps. I started off and this year I'm working on a new model of initial teacher training, and I've got about 20 of my trainees in the room, so maybe you've seen a little bit of this. But yeah, so I said I started at a new school. I've moved to Bristol Metropolitan Academy from John Cabot Academy, which are both schools within the Cabot Learning Federation. And as you know, if you've moved to a new school, you need to make an effort and an impact as soon as you can, and to get them on board as soon as you can. And so I started with this. I spoke to the kids and I gave each one of them a sort of a dummy toy box, and told them that I wanted them to imagine that they were toys and that they had instructions. And that just like any other toy, there are things that you should do with an iPhone, and there are things you shouldn't do with an iPhone if you want to get the best out of it. And so I asked the students to literally write down what it is that allows them to work well, and what it is that doesn't allow them to work well. So basically the instructions for themselves. And I told them that I would take that away, and I would be constructing their lessons and my approach to teaching them from that feedback. We then started looking at, again, increasing the amount of choice within the lesson. So I would give them a challenge, but allow them to choose the medium that they wanted to use to answer that challenge. So again, trying to increase student choice. I got a bit braver after that, and I started asking my year 7s what they wanted to do to the curriculum. Of course, I was given a sort of a curriculum by the head of the department, who sat in the audience, which is interesting, and said to the kids, come on, what did you do in primary school? How would you change this 8 weeks per topic sort of scheme of work? And that's what they came up with. They said that, as you would imagine, they are very confident in Word and PowerPoint and Excel, and that they want to spend less time on that, however hadn't had a chance to do web design or Scratch, and they wanted more time on that. So literally, within the first week of them being in school, they'd had an impact on their learning. And that, on the right, is the curriculum that we're following this year. So I guess the benefits. I saw a huge increase in engagement. The students suddenly were following their work in lessons that they had almost co-constructed, in that they were being taught in the way they like to be taught. You won't be surprised that they said, don't shout at me, don't make fun of me, don't talk too much, the standard sort of things. More ownership. The students, again, the work was a lot higher quality, and they actually sort of didn't leave it on the desk, which was nice. And the behaviour went up, which was an added bonus. So, next steps. I want to start working with the students on actually planning lessons together. So, we did this today. What do you think the next lesson would be?
I have to say that is not your 1 minute warning or your 10 second count.
I thought that was maybe a time for the accent. Maybe some sort of farmyard related. or at home.
Necessarily, someone going off now.
6, 5,
I'm going to take an extra 5 seconds if that's alright.
3.
So, yeah, next steps. Try and get the students to help me plan the next lesson, to get them involved in that lesson planning process, and to show them how stressful it is for all of us. But also, I'm starting to embark on that sort of, I think I'm not an English teacher, but panacea of students being in lessons observing us, training them and preparing them to be able to give us accurate and honest feedback about the way we teach. I will keep you posted on that. Thank you.